Welcome to Gege's Beauty Compound. Hi again, it's Gege coming to you again on a great day. Glad you guys can join me. If this is your first time, welcome to our compound. And today we're going to talk about a really cool topic. I am going to do part 2 of how to break into the TV background industry, and we're going to have tons of fun. As always, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and ding that notification button. Okay, great. Some of you asked me in the comments, and some of you even texted me and said, can you please do maybe kind of a series on how others can break into the TV, film, background work industry? And I thought about it and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'll do it. Because you guys give me great feedback. You leave amazing comments. And I was like, I'll go ahead and do that for you. So, just to get started, some of you may know a little bit about my artistic background. So I'll just give that just for context for you guys who do not know me. And again, if this is your first time viewing my channel. I have been doing background work for television and movies since I was about 13, 14 years old. And I've been in several television shows, several movies. Some of you may remember the movie Blank Man with the Wayans brothers. I've been in a lot of reality TV shows such as Married to Medicine, Love and Hip Hop, Leave It to Stevie, Little Miss Atlanta, just also to name a few. I have a few other TV shows that are coming out that are not my shows, but that are shows that I am a part of, that I have done background work for, but can't discuss yet because they haven't been released yet. But just so you guys have a bit of context. Also, artistically speaking, I have been a professional dancer and choreographer for many years. Since my parents would say since I came out the womb, I've been dancing. So that's just another thing about me for those who may not have known. I've also sung professionally for many years. I've been classically trained. I used to read music, but unfortunately I did not continue my study intensively, so now it is not as easy for me to read music. But in high school, that was part of my curriculum, being in the Music Triumph Honor Society and concert chorus, and I also competed in a lot of competitions classically, musically trained with just doing like solo and duet competitions in high school, as well as singing with gospel groups, as a young adult, and just a plethora of other things that God has graced me and given me the opportunity to do on a professional level. So it was always, as far as, television, movies, and things were concerned, that was just part of my repertoire, just things that I did, throughout junior high school, just a bunch of things that I did that I just love and I enjoy doing. And background work happens to be one of them. Oh, of course, awesome honorable mention. Those of you who are native Chicagoans, you may also remember the TV show The Awakening with the late, great Apostle Clifford E. Turner. That was my apostle for many years. That is the church I grew up in Chicago, and I was also an extra on that show as well. Emmy Award winning, The Awakening. Why? So, recently I've had the opportunity to do some more, as I mentioned, some more television shows, and I want to give you guys just some industry secrets, some background etiquette on how you can continue to get called, how you can continue to work on different shows and etc. And so I just wanted to share any knowledge that I have with you guys, because if this is something you're interested in doing or you've started, you want to make sure that you're doing it professionally. That's what I'm here for. That's what today's video is about. So, one thing that I stress, and I also want to reiterate from my last video, is when you are on television or movie sets, you always want to be on time. It doesn't matter if the main talent, the main actors and actresses are hours late. Not that they would be, but if that just so happens, it doesn't matter. You want to keep your name synonymous with professional in any type of endeavors, especially artistically speaking. You want your name to be, people to think professional when they think of you. The first thing you want to do, of course, is sign up with a professional agency. You can Google, there are plenty of agencies in a lot of major cities that you can sign up with, and they, pretty much after they speak with you, they may do what's called a cattle call, where they have sometimes hundreds, sometimes thousands of people who come, and you fill out paperwork, they take your photo, and they let you know, hey, we'd love to have you as a part of our agency. They may also ask, if you've had any other background experience or other experience in the movie or television industry. And of course, just like any professional resume, you want to put that on there. Anything you can think of that you've done artistically always works in your favor, because they want to know, how can we use this person for our next film or project? So even if you've done, let's just say you've done a little bit of dancing, you've done some choir work, you want to put that on that professional resume, because they may have a show that may cause for choir members to do real singing. And based upon what you put on your application, they will call you and say, hey, we'd love to have you aboard. Another thing that you want to make sure of is, make sure that in between scenes that you're not talking loudly. Like as the camera, so some instances when you do background work, they may be filming a scene repeatedly over and over again. And as a background person, they may ask you guys to, have a seat for maybe 30 minutes, sometimes an hour, and they may, film different angles of the scene using maybe the main talent. In those, moments, you can take that as like your background break. If you need to go to the restroom, take advantage of that, because once they're filming, it's like go, go, go. And you don't want to be late coming to set or coming to a scene, because they can literally cut you out, and they can even decide to tell you, you can go home. So you don't want them to cut you out of a scene because you came back late from a break. So make sure you're taking advantage of taking your break, using the restroom if you need to, but still be listening out and attentive, just in case they change their minds and your break is over at any moment. Another thing that you want to make sure you're doing is, when you have those breaks, a lot of times on set, they'll have snack bags for the background workers. Sometimes they'll have healthy snacks. Sometimes they'll have, like chips and candy. And other times they may have apples and bananas and applesauce and, those types of things, just depending on the production company. You may have a healthy snack bag and you may have a funner snack bag, but that's something that's typically, given out, to the background when, you're going to be filming. And when you're on break, you can definitely eat your snacks. So enjoy your snacks, but just don't, just smacking and talking loud and that type of thing. You still want to make sure that you're not disrupting, because just because they're not filming you at the moment doesn't mean they're not filming something else. So just make sure that you're very attentive, because you don't want them yelling quiet on set and continue to say it, because you don't want them to remove you from the room because you're being disruptive and it's not even about you, your background. So you don't want that to happen. Another thing you want to do is follow the directions of the director and staff. You have to be very detailed oriented when you are working in television and film. If they tell you to tone down your makeup, go rush to the bathroom. Or if you're in the makeup room, like if they have like an actual makeup room with makeup artists, hurry up. Make sure you bring, I don't have any on hand, but make sure you bring makeup wipes with you. And because sometimes they may not want you to have what you would consider to be your glam look. They may want you to have a more natural makeup face. Just depends on what the scene calls for, because the focus is always going to be on the main talent, the main characters, the lead actors and actresses, if you will. So you definitely want to follow instructions, pay attention to details. Speaking of, in the makeup room, so when you get asked to do a project, you're going to have production notes. So once you agree to doing a project, the production notes may say, hey, we're looking for, a background workers for action scene, and we want you to wear, I don't know, solid color t-shirts, no graphics, no logos. Make sure you follow those notes, because if you have a t-shirt with graphics or logos in it and you did not bring alternatives with you, that you can lose out on your opportunity because you did not follow the production notes that they sent you. Another thing that may be in those production notes are the makeup requirements. They may say, we want you to have a very natural look, no smoky eyes, just a very natural look for your scene. Then of course you can still come in with makeup, but just make sure that you're not too va-va-voom. You don't want to have like a popping red lip or blue or purple or something that's just really going to stand out in that scene. Maybe just bring like a light pink or nude color. Like this is just an example, of the lip color I have. It's just like a pink. And something in the nude family. Just make sure that your makeup looks as the notes say, a natural look. Doesn't mean come barefaced, because on camera everything shows. So you definitely want to come with your makeup done, and just of course bring your makeup bag if you need to do some touch-ups or refresh your powder so you're not shiny while you're filming, but follow those notes. Another thing to expect is you may not have in your closet what they are requiring for that particular role. So I would definitely suggest that if you get asked, let's just say you get asked to do a movie the day before, if you can help it, if you get that notification in a timely manner, just to give you realistic expectations, you may have to go out and shop for something that will be appropriate for that movie or television show. But you don't have to break the bank. A lot of times what I will do is I'll do like a Walmart run. Walmart has a lot of tees and, sundresses and different things that you can actually dress up or down. And I just make sure when I purchase it that it's not a neon color or too bright of a color scheme. But I'll run a lot of times to Walmart, pick up something that I know that I can use for that scene. Or I may go to, if it's something that I know is going to be a little more upscale, I may run to one of my favorite stores, and pick up something really cute. But a lot of times, if you're a savvy shopper, which thankfully my mom taught me to be, when you're a savvy shopper, a lot of times you can shop for things on the clearance rack, on sale. So you're still not, spending your money before you make it. Those are just, some other options and keys on how you can, just pick up a quick item so that it looks appropriate for what you're filming for. Another production note: things can change really fast on set. So there may be instances where your call time, meaning the time that they put in the production notes for you to show up, maybe they may say come at 9 o'clock in the morning. So you get there and you may have an expectation as soon as you get out your car and you carry your bag and everything, you may expect to get right to work. Well, in some cases, your scene may not come up for 2 to 3 hours, but they just want you to be there at that time because you never know if they may decide to film your scene early. You don't know if you have to do all of the preliminary things like check in, with one of the PAs. They may have you, it may be a long line for the wardrobe room, because believe it or not, when you get on set, they do check what you're wearing. Like if you say this is what I chose or selected to wear for the scene, they may like it or they may hate it. So definitely bring at least 2 to 3 other options in your, small suitcase for those instances, because you just want to make sure that you are, just keeping up with what they ask you for. So with that being said, make sure that you arrive on time, if not early. I always arrive early when I do any types of projects, because you just don't know. Things can change where they may call you right away to jump in the scene, or you may have to sit in holding for 2 to 3 hours. Or they may want to just get, like I said, all of that other stuff out of the way, so when it's time for you to film, they're not asking over and over again, did you sign in? Did you grab your snack bag? Whatever they may ask you to do when you get there, you just want to make sure that you're ready and you're focused and you're energetic, all those great things. So another thing you want to do when mentally preparing for your day, a lot of filming days are sometimes 8 to 10 hour work days. Sometimes it can be a 5 to 6 hour work day. But whatever the case, you want to make sure that your energy is always positive. I cannot stress this enough. People watch you on set. The assistants watch you. The directors a lot of times walk through background holding just to grab a snack or whatever. And you may catch their eye because they may love your look or your outfit. But if you're having like a bad day, or you have a scowl on your face, or your energy is bad, then you don't know that could have been your next opportunity to do something bigger and greater. So you always want to just stay positive, keep your energy high. Now, when I say high, please don't misunderstand. I'm not saying come in the room like a circus act where you're flipping and jumping and just extremely obnoxiously loud. No. Just, make sure you're smiling here and there. You're if someone looks your way, speak to, all of the people that are working on set. Hey, how you doing? Great. It's okay for you to be kind, nice, approachable, but prepare yourself that you are going to be there for a significant amount of time, but your energy has to stay the same in every scene. You don't want to make production work harder because your energy was low. So keep your energy positive and high in every scene. Another thing that you want to do and be mindful of, and I've seen this on a few sets that I've been on. If production asks you to hold a cup, they are just basically using different things as props to make the scene look more believable. But if they pour a liquid in that cup, please make sure that you're mindful not to place that cup somewhere where it can easily be knocked over. Be mindful that you're not splashing what's in the cup on the person that's in your scene with you. And make sure you're not, just be mindful not to spill it, because anything that you spill on set, someone in production has to stop what they're doing and come and clean up your mess. You don't want to be that person on set where they constantly have to clean up after. It's incredibly annoying for them. Accidents happen, but just be mindful that if you have a cup or something with liquid in it that they have asked you to hold in a scene, just be mindful, just be careful, because you want to be courteous to others around you and to production. So another thing that you want to be aware of is if other people within your scenes are speaking negatively, make sure that you have the mental capacity and the mental strength not to allow someone else's tiredness or someone else's negative comments to affect your positivity. Remember, light chases out darkness. So you stay the light. No matter what else is going on around you, you always stay the light, because you will stand out. And you'll continue to work and you'll continue to be asked on different sets because they'll remember your light and they'll remember your professionalism. Another expectation that I want you guys to be aware of is when you get paid for these different projects, you have different types of background workers. You have those who may be union. You have those who may be considered more of lead background, meaning that you were hired to be closer to the main talent, which is awesome because you're going to get great screen time. And then you have background who may just be used as fillers in a street scene, a concert scene, those types of things. With the different tiers of background workers, there is a difference in pay. If they ask you to be on stage and pretend that you're a musician, you may have a higher pay than a background person who was just asked to sit in the stadium and just fill up the scene. But as long as you keep in mind that whatever tier that you may fall on, if you continue to do excellent work, you can move up in that background workers tier. And it may even lead to a speaking role. If they continue to get familiar with your work, familiar with your face, and your work ethic, you do have opportunities where they will ask you to do more things in productions. However, when you get paid for the different productions, unfortunately, sometimes it can take 2 to 3 weeks before you receive your check in the mail. So if this is just me, you can't always use background work as a livable wage. It just depends on where you fall in the background workers tier. However, even if you aren't on the higher paid end of a background person, still don't get discouraged, because you can use those opportunities to build your own creative resume. You get to work with some awesome people. You get to make new friends, because a lot of times if you're on set for even a day or two, you kind of get used to the people that are around you, and you feed off of each other's energy, and you exchange phone numbers and social media, and that's fun too. And another thing is, with doing background work, you get to meet some of your favorite celebrities who you may have never met on a regular day, just working your regular 9 to 5, if you happen to do that. But there are perks. There are definitely perks working no matter what tier you're in with background work. But I just wanted to make sure that you guys were aware that if you get into doing background work, don't expect that you're going to get a weekly paycheck. A lot of times it'll take up to a month before you get that check. But don't be alarmed. You know, money is money, and you just make sure that you do other things accordingly to pay your bills and do what you need to do. Like me, I have a regular aesthetics job, which I love. I love my industry, but I do my movies and television as kind of like a side gig. I do that for fun. I do that for the exposure. I also use it as network opportunities, because a lot of times on set you will meet people who are already doing other amazing things in the industry. They may also be background with you, but they may own their own hair salon. They may be a photographer, in the city who does a lot of great, celebrity clients. You may meet people who are professional makeup artists, and you may need to connect on a project where you do the skincare, they do the makeup, or they may know of other great opportunities that you can be a part of. So, as they say, never despise the day of small beginnings, because those smaller opportunities always lead to bigger opportunities. And I have truly been a witness and can definitely attest to that. So, if you guys have any other questions about the industry, about agencies and things of that nature, if I can answer those questions, of course I would love to answer them for you and to help you. But if you're in a different city, I can probably give you general information, but I'm going to tell you, Google is your best friend, and speaking to other friends within your city that may also be doing that type of work, because they're going to be able to refer you to some great reputable companies that you want to work with. So that was all for today, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me again for another episode of Gege's Beauty Compound. I love you guys. Please, as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ding that notification button. I'll see you guys next time. Feel free to share my video, and thank you. Fellow compounders, have a wonderful day. Bye.